Hi, I'm Mari. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope your day is going well, and I hope that this video makes your day just a little bit better. Should you tell your crush that you like them? I know this is a very oddly specific question, but it's actually the title of this video that we're going to be watching today by Crystal. It's a conclusive guide to literally every possible scenario under the sun about whether you should tell your crush you like them. And you might think that your very specific scenario isn't here, but it probably is because her flowchart is so oddly specific that it's actually impossible to follow. So with that, let's get started.
Should you tell your crush you like them? This is the definitive guide to literally every scenario of whether or not you should tell your crush you like them. First question, everyone starts here. Is your crush seeing someone?
This is like the hardest question to answer out of all the questions. Are they seeing someone?
There's three options that you can pick here. I don't know, no, yes. If you picked I don't know, find out. If you picked no, how do you know your crush? This branches into two different answers, online or through in-person circumstances.
Right.
If you picked through in-person circumstances, now you have to pick from these four options. Number one, you met your crush via friends. Number two, you met your crush through school. Number three, you met your crush through work. Or number four, you met your crush out of third space. So like
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. If you meet your crush at like a supermarket, I don't know. Like if I'm going shopping and someone comes up to me, I immediately am like, are they going to try to sell me something? Or like are they on drugs? Are they homeless asking for money? Like I normally never think it's a normal, just casual conversation at like a supermarket or even at like an airport. I just kind of assume that when someone comes up to me, they're trying to solicit something because that's usually what ends up happening. Now, I'm not saying it's always going to happen, but for me, that's typically what happens.
coffee shop, a bar, like a shopping mall. We're first going to talk about if you met your crush through friends. So if you met your crush through friends, you now have to pick from these two options, which are number one, you're friends with your crush, or you met your crush through friends.
Okay, but what's worse, everybody? Like, is it your friends with your crush or you met through I feel like if it's meeting through friends, it's a little less awkward, but if like you're friends with your crush, that's like one of those unspoken like territories of like the friend zone.
You're not necessarily friends with your crush. If you picked you're friends with your crush, are you and your crush in a friend group together? So what I mean by this is like, are you and your crush like one-on-one friends and you hang out just the two of you, or
Oh my gosh, I just realized she has like little upside down hearts on her background. That's interesting.
are you two part of like a wider friend group that you hang out with? If you picked no, you're not in a friend group, aka your friends one-on-one, I think you should tell them, but be mentally prepared that it's gonna make things really awkward if they don't like you. I'm really sorry, but you should probably do it anyway for your mental clarity and for like your mental health. This is like the most movie-esque scenario that you can be in, right? If you tell your crush you like them and they're your best friend and they like you back, and then oh, you get married, or you ruin things forever, but you never really know until you tell them, so you might as well just do it. Good.
But it doesn't have to be ruined like forever, right? Like, hey, everyone gets rejected. It's only a problem if, well, you can't handle that rejection and then it's like you can't view that person the same way. And that's kind of like makes it hard too, because it's like, I feel like for some of this stuff, it plays on that whole like, oh, guys and girls can't be friends without wanting to date each other, which is not true at all. But what I will say is that when it is like, people of the opposite like gender and they like you and like one of them likes them and the other person doesn't, it does make it kind of weird after if both of those people are not mature enough to like have that kind of discussion. And then at the end of the day, it's like, well, if that person did like you and they aren't that mentally mature like that, maybe the relationship wouldn't have worked out anyways, or maybe like you need to work on yourself. Either way, there's a lot of nuances with this specific scenario, I feel like.
Good luck, and tell us below what happened. If you picked yes, you and your crush are in a wider friend group, the next question is, was your crush ever seeing someone in the friend group?
Oh no.
If you picked yes, define seeing. From here you
No, God, no. Oh no, this is like classic like group drama and stuff. Oh no.
You can either pick number one, your crush was casually hooking up with someone else in your friend group, or number two, your crush was dating someone else in your friend group. If you picked your crush was dating someone in your friend group, how serious was it? On a scale of 0 to 5.
How do you know though? Like if it's your friends, like how do you know how? Well, I guess you kind of know if it's like super serious or not, right?
1 to 2, they went on like one bad date and they're not attracted to each other at all. 3 to 4, they dated for a couple of weeks, but it didn't ever get serious. Or 4 to 5, they dated very seriously, they like met each other's parents, maybe they have a kid or like a pet together, they talked about their future plans.
Oh
like
God.
any of those, a combination of those, 4 to 5. If you picked 1 to 2, then you have the final outcome of
Yeah.
so long as you're okay with the fact that getting together with your crush and or potentially breaking up with them may or will change the dynamic of your friend group forever and or break up your friend group. If you pick 3 to 4 in terms of seriousness, like they dated for a couple of weeks but it didn't get like that serious, or you picked 4 to 5 just now on that question, which was, it was very serious, but there is a chance that your crush does actually like you. You both have the next step, which is to determine whether or not it's actually up for you to ask out your friends. In order to do that, we're obviously going to have to apply the mathematical formula of Katie's law.
Katie's law?
Whether or not it's up for you to date your friend's boyfriend. So in order to apply Katie's law, we have to consider the following formula, which is T sub safe equals D times F over G, where T sub safe is the time in months you should wait before telling.
Wow, there is an actual formula for this? What?
Your crush you like them. D is the total duration in months of your friend and your crush's relationship. F is the friendship level of you and your friend on a
How do
scale
you
of 1 to
measure
10,
that?
So like 1 being the lowest and 10 being this is my ride or die best friend. I would lie in front of a train track for them. And G is the total time in months between your friend and your crush breaking up and you telling your crush that you like them. So plug in all of the conditions into that formula and see what number you get for T.
I love this whole, but if you're bad at math, you can just decide by vibes. Oh, you're so real for that, bestie.
Sub-safe. So I'll give you an example calculation of how to use this. Let's say your friend dated this guy for 12 months. So in D, you would put 12. Let's say you're moderately close to this friend. So F, you would put like 6. And your friend and that guy broke up 6 months ago. So for G, you would put 6. So plug that into the formula. T sub safe equals 12 times 6 divided by 6 equals 12 months. So now that you have your variable for T sub safe, which is 12 months, we now need to consider the 3 conditions which will determine what you should do. If G is less than 2, the answer is always don't think about it, do not do it, do not ask your crush out. If T sub safe is smaller and or equal to G, then you might be good, but proceed with extreme caution and the willingness to risk your entire friendship. So if you got G is less than 2 and or T sub safe is larger than G, you should probably pick no. Do not tell your crush you like them. But if, however, you did get T sub safe is smaller and or equal to G, then you can move on to the next step, which is asking, do either your friend or your crush still have feelings for each other? If you chose yes and or I don't know for this, the next
I really like how she combined these like scenarios together, because this is like really well thought out, because there's always like those what if about this scenario, and I don't know, there's just a lot of thought that was put into this entire thing.
Next question is, does the potential of getting together with your crush and or potentially breaking up with them outweigh the risk of potentially changing the entire dynamic of the friend group forever? If you picked no, don't tell them. If you picked yes, tell them. But best of luck to you. So now we're gonna talk about if you picked no to the question of do you think that your crush and or their ex still has feelings for each other? If you picked no, you sure? If you picked no or not sure, then
I love this. I love this so much. This is so well done.
Go into the other question, which is, does the potential of getting together with your crush outweigh the risk of things being incredibly awkward? And then you answer that branch just now. If you picked yes, I'm sure that my friend and my crush do not have any lingering feelings for each other, then you get the outcome of yeah, do it. Again, with the asterisk of so long as you're okay with it changing the dynamic forever. I feel like I've talked about this. So now we're gonna go back all the way up the branch. I hope you're following this, because
I am.
Confusing.
I
We're
am.
gonna go back to the question of yes, your crush was seeing someone in the friend group. If you from that branch, instead of picking your crush was dating someone else in the friend group, if you instead picked your crush was casually hooking up with someone in the friend group, you automatically get pulled all the way down to yeah, do it. So the same outcome as just now. And I'm not gonna say the whole thing over again. You can read it on the screen. Going up one more option, if you picked no, your crush had never been seeing anyone or was never romantically involved with anyone else in your friend group, follow-up question from that is, does anyone else in your friend group like your crush? If you picked yes, someone else in my friend group does like my crush, follow-up question from that is there any chance that your crush actually likes you? Because rather than risk ruining your entire friendship with that third friend who also has a crush on your crush, you should first ask yourself, is there anything on the line that's even worth risking for me to completely ruin my friendship with this third person? If you picked no, you get the outcome of I mean, I wouldn't, to be honest, because the trade-off isn't worth it.
Yeah, yeah, no, that actually makes a lot of sense because, like, and mind you, this is all about telling your crush that you like them. This isn't even like oh, we're actually like dating, we're gonna get married and like all that stuff. Like, this is like just telling this person that you like them. So fascinating.
If your crush isn't gonna like you back, like you just ruined 2 relationships in your life, I wouldn't do it. But if you picked yes, there is a chance that my crush does actually like me back. You get the question that I've said a million times now, which is, does the potential of getting together with your crush outweigh the risk?
There's a lot for this one.
Things awkward and are ruining your relationship with this third friend. Blah 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 blah. Okay, yes or no. You read on screen. Going back up to the question of does anyone else in your friend group like your crush? If you picked no, you just get fast tracked all the way to the same question, which is, does the potential of getting together with your crush potentially risk ruining the relationship? Pick
Love
yes
that.
or no for don't tell them and or tell them with extreme caution. Okay, so now I've completed all of the options for are you and your crush in a friend group together. You should have your...
That was just the friend group one? Oh my gosh, there's so many more sections that are left.
Answer from that. We're now going to discuss the scenario of you met your crush through friends, but you're not necessarily friends with your crush. So there's 2 options here that you can pick from. Number 1 is you and your crush have a mutual friend. So like you guys have a friend between you, even if you 2 aren't necessarily friends. The second one is your crush is related to your friend. The sibling, cousin, blah, 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 of a friend that you have. If you picked you and your crush have a mutual friend that's not related to your crush, then you go back into the previous branch, which is are you and your crush in a friend group together, and then watch the previous part of the video. I'm not going to do that entire thing again. If you picked your crush is related to someone that's your friend, oh my god, are they your friend's sibling?
I love how it's like, oh my god, that's the option.
If you picked yes, oh my
god.
The next question is, do you think you like them because you actually like them as a person, or do you think you have a crush on them just because they're your friend's sibling, and so by proximity or like by some weird mind thing you have a crush on them? If you picked yes, I think I only like them because they're my friend's sibling, then don't tell them, and I'm sure you'll phase out of it, so don't do it. If you picked no, I don't think I like them for that reason, follow-up question is, does the prospect of being with your crush outweigh the fact that you're probably most likely gonna completely ruin or at least make it incredibly awkward with your friend for a period of time and or forever? If you picked no, don't tell them. If you picked yes, tell them, but it'll be a show. Going back to the question of are they your friend's sibling, if you picked no, parent? If you picked yes or no, surprise, you get the same outcome, which is I'm not getting involved in this show. Closes.
I love if it's their parent, you're just like, I'm not getting involved. Close this YouTube video. You're done.
YouTube video right now. Now we covered all of the scenarios
where
you met your crush via friends. We're now going to discuss the scenario where you met your crush through school. So the first question is, do you see your crush often? There's 2 options that you can pick from this, no or yes. No would be, for example, you're on a big campus, you're not in any of the same classes, you're in separate departments, you know, you're never going to run into them. If that's the case, very simple answer, you should tell them, because you're not going to risk anything. If you're in school, you're young, or not young, or like, you know, you're spiritually young, so like you should tell them anyway. There's like nothing to risk, there's nothing to lose. If you picked yes, you do see your crush often, e.g. you're in the same class, you're in the same department, you work together on group projects. Follow-up question is, do you actually like them? Or like, do you think you actually have a crush on this person because you're just in forced proximity with them? If you
I really like how there's this conception of like, oh, I only have a crush on this person because of like proximity. It's not because I actually like them, because I wouldn't be surprised if the reason why a lot of relationships don't work is because they don't actually like each other. It's just because like they're close, and like when you're close like that, it's in one way it could be viewed as like, oh, it's like the only option around, even though I still think like that's not the best mindset to have it, but maybe subconsciously that's what happens. I don't know, because I'm not like a psychologist to study this stuff, but I find it so fascinating how it's like, oh, because we're like in this, like we're just close, like we see each other every day. I never thought of it like that before, on why some people get crushes on each other. It's so cool.
chose you.
Well, I mean, it's not cool if it like ruins the relationship, but like it's cool to see someone who broke this all down and thought of it like this.
I think you only like them because you're forced to be together, like it's forced proximity, then you get the outcome of don't tell them because it's gonna ruin the purpose they serve in your life anyway, which is like having something interesting to fantasize and crush about when you're like in a boring calculus class. And if you tell them, it's gonna ruin the magic for you. And then
That is, like I said, she's really well calculated with this. Like, I would have never thought of it like that.
It's also just gonna make 8 a.m. on Wednesdays incredibly uncomfortable, so I wouldn't tell them. If you picked, no, I actually do like them for them, and it's not because we're in forced proximity together. Follow-up question, you're saying you would have a crush on this person even if you didn't have to see them every day. You're sure. Two options that you can pick from this. First one, okay, maybe not. Then you go back to the answer, which is don't tell them. If you picked, yes, I do actually like this person, then your outcome is tell them. And you'll either be in the best relationship of your life and you'll be married, or you'll make things incredibly awkward and uncomfortable for yourself every day when you're forced to see them for the rest.
I love this so much. I just, oh my gosh, yeah. I've never had anybody ask me out from like class and stuff. I'm pretty sure most people avoided me during that, but you know, they're forced to work with you on projects. But like, I think it's interesting how so many relationships just crash and burn because of just close proximity. It's so fascinating.
Rest of, I don't know, the 4 or 5 years that you're in school. Okay, so now we covered all the scenarios of if you met your crush through school. We're now going to discuss if you met your crush through work, because you're an old person and you go to work, not school. So the first—
Hey. You know, in some places, 16-year-olds can go to work. You telling me like 16-year-old now?
First question for that is, do you fear being fired? If you chose yes, don't tell them. It's probably against HR rules. You don't tell them.
Yeah.
If you picked no, I don't fear being fired, you sure? If you pick
you
no,
sure?
I kind of need to pay rent, don't tell them. If you pick no, I kind of hate my job, I don't care about being fired. Follow-up question is your crush in the same level as you in the—
Oh yeah, because no, this is really important. So I don't know if you ever watched like The Office or like any other type of work shows, but like if you are working at a place and the person that you like is in a different hierarchy, like she's probably gonna explain it to you like what this means, like the manager and like employees and stuff. This becomes a big deal because it's a huge like HR mess.
Work hierarchy. Think about like the employees in your workspace. Like, are you above your crush, below your crush, or are you like on the same level, like you're similar pay? You know what I mean? If you picked yes, you're on the same hierarchy, maybe because you do the same job or like you have the same manager, like you're on the same like kind of level playing field. Follow-up question is the same as the school question, which is, do you think you actually like this person? Like, do you think you have a crush on them because you actually like them, or do you think you have a crush on them just because like you're forced to see them in the office every day? Like, would you think that this person was cute, and would you be attracted to them if you like walked across the street from them and like you don't know them, or do you only think they're cute because they're like the cutest guy in your office building where
like the cutest person there? That's so interesting. You know, funny story. So again, I don't ever get hit on like in this kind of situations, but my friend always gets hits on no matter where we go. Like even like when we both worked at this like job together, she would constantly get hit on by like these older guys in the office, and it was like really creepy and weird because like they're in a different position and like they're a lot older than us. But I always find it very fascinating when like people try to hit on you, especially at like work, because I always thought like, oh, it must be just because they're in school. No, believe it or not, from my experiences of working from like different types of jobs, especially even working in like a corporate office place, people in like office jobs are way more horny than like anywhere else I've ever seen. Like the amount of times like she would get hit on, and like other people in the office are like dating each other behind like their significant others' backs, and just all this other crazy stuff. It's like very interesting.
no one is really cute. If you picked forced proximity, don't tell them. If you picked no, I actually like them, well, yeah, tell them, and it could be, you know, Jim and Pam from The Office, greatest thing ever, or incredibly awkward, and you probably risked getting fired. So there you go. Now we're gonna go back to the question of the work hierarchy. So if you picked no, aka your crush is on a different level from you on the work hierarchy, now there's two options. Either your crush is your superior, or your crush is superior. If your crush is your superior, Follow-up question from that is, do you think you like your crush because you just have a weird thing for authority figures? So think about that.
Think about that.
There's only one answer that you can pick from here, which is I do have a weird thing for authority figures, but that's not the point, Crystal. And so you get the outcome of, if you do it, there's a 1% chance you'll get a promotion, and this will be like 50 Shades of Grey, and a 99% chance you'll be fired immediately. Going back to the work hierarchy, if you picked your crush is your junior, so your crush's superior, follow-up question from that is there any chance at all your crush actually likes you, or is this just some sick power play that will make your crush incredibly uncomfortable for the rest of their limited time working there before they inevitably resign?
Oh God.
Weird. If you picked no, there's no chance that your crush likes you, don't tell them. If you picked
yes, what?
HR will hear about this. So that's all of the scenarios.
HR will hear about this. Oh, because it's true. I think if like that is like the dynamic, you have to like disclose that with HR, so that way HR knows this isn't some like harassment case.
If you met your crush through work, we're now going to go into the final scenario for the in-person circumstances, which is,
oh my gosh, this is still in person.
Like a third space, so like a coffee shop, the bar, airport, supermarket, blah blah blah. Like you don't really know them; they're just a stranger. In this case, I think you should tell them because they're a stranger. Like,
yeah.
Maybe it's like a coffee shop that you frequent a lot, or like the supermarket that you always go to. Then in which case, yeah, it would be a little weird if you asked them out and they said no, and then you'd probably have to like completely change your shopping places. But like, it's not significant enough of a burden or like a significant enough impact in your life potentially that's negative for you to like not do it. So I think life is short, you should just tell them. Sorry if that's not as entertaining, but
compared to the other ones.
Okay, so we've just completed all of the in-person circumstances for how do you know your crush, again being that your crush is not dating someone. Now we're gonna discuss your crush is not dating someone, but you know them online or through the internet. If you said, I know my crush online, follow-up question is, are they a celebrity? If you picked yes,
oh my gosh,
put this option into this, you might think this is really stupid, but I know there's a bunch of you mothers in my comments who be like, my crush is a celebrity. My crush is like a TikTok star. In which case, I have to put this in for you mother. If you picked yes, but my crush is a celebrity, you can tell them, but they're never gonna know about it. So.
Oh, here we go. Is the parasocial? Well. Who would have thought parasocial would come into this video?
So have fun, go crazy. You know. They don't read their comments. Just do it. If you picked no, my crush is a real person, they're not a celebrity, then
wait, you can't phrase it like that. You can't say that. When you phrase it like that, it sounds like you're saying celebrities are not real people, which I know that's not what you meant, but it kind of I'm just teasing.
Follow-up question is, did you meet this person on a dating app? If you picked yes, I'm gonna assume for this scenario that they also swiped right on you, so it's not like some random person that swiped left on you on a Tinder and you didn't match them. I'm assuming here you matched them on a dating app, in which case, yeah, you should tell them, but yeah, tell them.
I mean,
I'm assuming they already know that you like them.
Yeah.
They at least know that you're physically attracted to them.
Yeah.
Matched on a dating app, but maybe they don't know. Maybe they're using Tinder Friends. If you picked no, I didn't meet them on a dating app, follow-up question is, have you ever met this person in real life? If you picked yes, I have met this person in real life, you should tell them. If you picked no, I've only known this person online, I've never met them in real life, you get the option of you can tell them, but there's a chance that you won't be attracted to them in real life, in which case weigh your odds.
True.
So that's online space is done. That was quick and easy. Okay. Now we're gonna go back to the original question, which is we're now gonna discuss scenarios in which your crush is seeing.
No. Oh god, this one's gonna be the most awkward one.
Someone. If you picked yes, your crush is seeing someone, define seeing, there's 3 options that you can now pick from. Okay, so number 1 is they're casually dating someone, number 2 is they're in a relationship, and number 3 is they're hooking up with someone. So if you picked your crush is hooking up with someone, same person or multiple people? If you picked your crush is hooking up with multiple people, then you should tell them, but it depends what you want out of this.
Yeah.
AKA, do you also want to just be hooking up with your crush, or do you want to be in a long-term relationship with your crush? In which case, I don't think it's gonna happen at this point in time. I'm so sorry. Like, I don't think it's gonna happen. If you picked your crush is hooking up with someone, but it's with the same person, they're in a situationship. What's their role in the situationship? There's now 2 options that you can choose. Number 1, your crush is in a situationship and they're being dragged along by the other person who won't commit to your
God.
The outcome you get from this is you should tell your crush you like them, but it's more likely than not they're gonna be too blinded by that other person to ever reciprocate your feelings,
And
in
that's
which case it's not even worth it. If you picked option
And that's like the worst part, right? It's like, especially if you know that this other person clearly is not into them, like at all, and it's just stringing them along. Like, that is really painful to have to watch someone just get strung along, but unfortunately it happens, and it's really sad.
Option 2, your crush is in a situationship and they're the one who won't commit to this other person and is dragging this other person along. You get the outcome of don't tell them unless you also want to be in a situationship with this person, which you probably don't. Maybe you do, but most likely no. And you don't want to be with this type of person anyway that will put you in a situationship. So I would say don't do it. So that covers all of the scenarios of your crush is hooking up with someone. We're now going to discuss if you picked your crush is seeing someone and they're in a relationship with someone.
God.
Very obvious answer. Don't tell them. Homewrecker. Don't do it.
Yeah.
I could get into like the nuances of like, oh, but what if they're not happy in their relationship? I mean, like, someone's gonna get mad at me with the comments. So I'm not gonna delve into that. I'm not gonna discuss any of that. Blanket answer. Don't tell them, and also seek proper advice. Don't ask me. Okay. Final scenario. We're in a final stretch. If you pick yes, your crush is seeing someone, and it's in the capacity that they're casually dating someone. Follow-up question. Is it actually casual? If you pick no, it's not actually casual. While they're in a relationship, don't tell them. If you pick yes.
I mean, yeah, why bother saying that it's casual if it's not really casual? Like,
it is an actual casual relationship. Follow-up question. Same person or multiple? If you pick multiple, again, it depends. Same person, okay, they're in a situationship. And then you go to the situationship branch, which is what's their role in the situationship? They're the person that won't commit, then don't tell them because you don't want to be with that person anyway. If you picked they're the person being dragged along in the situationship, tell them, but they're probably not going to like you because they're too busy being emotionally dragged along by another person in the situationship. So tell them, but it's going to end badly. There we go. We did it all. We did it.
Oh my gosh. This was way more in-depth of a thing than I thought it was going to be.
Okay, that's every scenario under the sun. All the scenarios that I can think of off the top of my head, off the top of my dome, for if you should tell your crush that you like them. So I hope you enjoyed that video. And if I didn't cover you in this graph, that's okay, because you can always use this following section, which is universal, and you can use it for any scenario. You're gonna ask yourself two questions, okay? The first question is, you're gonna ask yourself, what do I want out of this? Like, do I want to date this person? Do I want to hook up with this person? Do I want to, like, casually date this person? Have kids with this person? Okay? Think about it. Think carefully what your answer is gonna be. And then use your answer to this to inform the second question, which is there any chance that my crush will like me back? And then there's an asterisk on that, with the asterisk being, regardless of what you answered for part 2, you should probably tell your crush anyway. You never know unless you try, and life is short, so don't let a YouTube video tell you what you should do. But if you watch this video and you did tell your crush you like them, and you did actually get into the best relationship of your life, or the best one night stand of your life, you should send me money to show me your deepest appreciation and thanks. But if you don't want to do that, at least subscribe, because that's free. Obligatory disclaimer for this video, which is, I don't know, jack so I'm not giving any solid advice. This is not advice. This is entertainment only. My qualifications are, I didn't hold hands romantically with a boy until I was 21. So don't listen to me.
Base.
I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe.
That was so base. Like, wow. I actually really like that. That was such a well thought out video. And kind of like, after looking at all of those different scenarios and the situations, the only thing that I can say what I got out of this is that if I'm trying to decide if I'm going to tell my crush if I like them, I'm cooked. Let me know what you thought about this video and recommend any other types of videos you'd like me to watch in the future. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye! I wonder if anyone in the comments has a crush on me. I'm gonna have to let HR know about this.